What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are going to be talking about the 2024 presidential election and how I see it happening in my forecast. So this is the presidential level. Right now I have Trump at 301 electoral votes with Biden at 237 electoral votes. With the swing states being Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. We may be able to include even Minnesota and maybe even Maine at large, just because it will be way closer than in 2020. This is how I see it going. Right now, all of the Rust Belt states that are right now going to be very close, I have them as tilt margins. Arizona, right now I have tilt blue for Biden, just because Maricopa is going to be shifting to the left in this season, and I just think it's going to be very hard for Trump to retain that state. He would have to overperform a lot around Maricopa County and a lot of the other counties that are shifting right. So if we even go to election shuffler and we go to Arizona and we go to multi-select and go to Arizona, it's going to probably shift another point to the left, but then we're going to have to decrease turnout by around 4%. I don't think that turnout's going to be the exact same, but then if we go back all the way, and then we shift every single right-leaning county, so we go to multi-select, we go to every single right-leaning county that's shifting to the right by little, and we shift them around 5 points to the right, but then we also have to lessen turnout in this area. So then, yeah, it's going to be literally within I just think it's going to be very hard. If Trump does not do well in Maricopa, he can't win the state. It will be very close, like it says here. Trump would have to do really well all around near the border and everywhere else. It's going to be very hard for Trump to retain that. So if we go to the Senate level, I have the Republicans getting 52 seats and getting the majority back, with the Democrats getting 48 seats. The seats I have flipping is West Virginia, just because Manchin is retiring. And then we have Sherrod Brown getting taken down by Moreno. That seat is not going to be as close as expected, just because Trump's going to do really well there. And it would be very hard for Moreno to underperform Trump by around 10 points. That's what will have to happen for Moreno to lose. And yeah, so if we go over to Montana, Jon Tester right now will be taken down, just because it is a very big red state, and since it's a presidential year for the Senate, it's going to be very hard for the Democrats to have the majority, just because they won Montana and Ohio, the seats I have flipping, in 2018. So I think it's going to be very hard for the Democrats to have that majority. So if we go to the House, I have the Republicans having 221 seats, and the Democrats getting 214 seats, which is one higher than the Republicans had in 2022. I have seats flipping in multiple areas. The Democrats are going to gain some seats in California, but then they're going to lose seats on the East Coast mostly. And since Alyssa Slotkin is going for the Senate, her seat is going to be flipped for the Republican Party, just because both candidates that they've chosen for that House district are not very good, in my opinion. But I think the Republicans are going to retain that seat, just because Trump's going to do well in Michigan. Yeah, so if we go to my governor's prediction, this is what I have. The Democrats are not going to do that well, just because it's going to be a presidential year. Trump's going to do well in North Carolina. They're going to flip that seat, just because Trump is going to get around 3 to 4 percentage points there. It's going to be very hard for Biden to get the influence for the governorship. I think New Hampshire will narrowly stay for the Republican Party. I can either see it going either way. But then we have Washington, which is basically self-explanatory. Same thing for Delaware. I think that that the Republicans are gonna overperform in Delaware just by around 1 to 2 points, just because Biden's home state, he gets that morality, but also Trump's gonna do well nationwide, so it's gonna be very hard for Biden to do well. Then I have a county map, which basically just explains all the counties that I have filled in and how maybe the shifts show. Like if you go to Maricopa County, for example, you can see that it stays the same, just because Biden's going to do well in that area. It's going to say lean, but it's going to shift to the left by, I want to say, a point. So we can see Trump doing really well across the border. As you can see in Texas, he's doing way better than he did in 2016. Almost every single county in this area was blue. We had this county going blue. Maverick County was going blue. And Trump's going to flip Maverick County by, I'd say, a couple points. Right now, Trump's going to do really, really well just because of how the polls are stated right now. And yeah, basically all across the board, Trump's going to do well mostly. If we go to actually Georgia, you can see where maybe a little bit of shifts are. For example, you can see Gwinnett and Fulton shifting a little bit to the right. You could see Fayette County going a little bit to the right. Mostly around the college town of Augusta and yeah, basically you can see these counties shifting right. You can see all of this basically shifting right except maybe the college town of Athens. Chatham County, which is Savannah, you can see that shifting a little bit right. It's going to be hard for Trump to do a little bit well there, but I can see it maybe going more towards Trump than it did in 2020. But I also want to look at the polls because I think it's very interesting to see. Trump was never ahead by a sustainable margin in 2020. Actually, if you go over to 2020, I can show you that. So in 2020, Trump was never ahead in the average. Never in 2020. He never had great polls. He only had a couple polls. Like, if we go down to, like, what is that, September, it was one poll and only had him up by one. But every single else poll had Trump down. Like, it was one poll out of many. It was a outlier poll. So it's going to be very hard for Biden to do well because Trump right now has been ahead in the aggregate for quite a while. He's been mostly ahead just because after the convictions, people got mad. And yeah, so that's what I have going on right now for my 2024 presidential, governor, senate, and county map. That's what I have right now. Let me know what you guys think. Please comment down below. Please subscribe because I'm going to be putting out more content like this. Let me know what content you guys actually want to see. I'll love to post it out for you guys. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.